What's up, guys? Blade Master here, bringing you yet another Total War Rome 2 battle replay. And this is actually the finals of the WoC Clash tournaments that ended, I think, yesterday, and or maybe it was day before yesterday. And this one is fought between Llewelin of Agartha and WoC Suicidal. Now, I've played Llewellyn before. I haven't played Suicidal before, but Llewellyn is definitely a very, very strong player. I played him in the Under the Eagle, or it was something similar to that, Under the Eagle or Above the Eagle or something to do with eagles. It was a tournament which just had the standard 1v1 rules, and I lost to him. I think the total was 2-1. I won one match and he won the rest. So this is a flash tournament with just the regular rules, six max cav, and max one elephant and max I think four horse archers or just skirmish archers, skirmish cavalry. So let's see what they brought. It's a very typical tournament final build from both of the players. Llewellyn has taken Bactria, and I would assume that Suicidal has brought Parthia to counter them, as they are obviously the one of the easiest and best factions to counter Bactria with. Now, Llewellyn has brought four Levy pikemen, a total of four Persian light archers, and he's got no, he doesn't have any experience upgrades. Never mind. So just four Persian light archers, four Levy pikemen, two thorax swords, a total of five Bactrian noble horse, and one elephant and two mercenary Scythian horse archers. Now to counter that, Suicidal has brought two Scythians or two Sarmatians. Yeah, two Sarmatian horse archers. I mean, they're the same. Three Persian light archers, three Parthian swords, a couple of Eastern spearmen, and a whole bunch of cataphracts. So he's got three Eastern cataphracts on his right, a Royal Cataphract Gen, and a Camel Fract on his left. And finally, he's also brought an Indian War Elephant. So, Indian war elephants are slightly, or actually quite a bit inferior to Indian armored elephants, which Llewellyn has brought. But other than that, I would say it's pretty even. The Suicidal has got a cavalry edge. Uh, I would say Llewellyn probably has a slight infantry edge. He definitely has a skirmishing edge. But all in all, it seems it can go either way in terms of the builds. There's no clear winner right off the bat. So let's see what Llewellyn does. He's, you know, moved up with his Persian light archers right off the bat and positioned them on his right because he's trying to counter the Indian war elephant threat that is, that could just rampage on his right if it was left unchecked. And you would see throughout this game that Llewellyn plays pretty aggressively, considering he's got a pretty skirmish heavy and pretty pike heavy build compared to Suicidal. The thing is, cataphracts are quite slow for a cavalry unit, so it's not like you can exploit these edges, or sorry, these gaps that Llewellyn has between his pikes and his archers with your fast cav, because obviously these guys are slow. Now, where they do excel, as we know, is in their in their absolutely amazing killing power against, especially cavalry, but against basically any unit if left unchecked. Now he is advancing with his royal cataphracts, but Llewellyn advances with his levy pikes, and even though their pikes are up in the air, I mean they're always a threat. If he does, it just takes like a second or two for them to put their pikes down. If he changes the run order to just a regular walk order, and Llewellyn is definitely a good enough player to do that if needed. Now he is continuing to advance and close the gap between their two main lines with his pikes, and that's a good strategy. They are taking a lot of Persian light archer fire, I would assume, but these guys are meant obviously just to hold, and they're not meant to win him the game. His Bactrian noble horse are there for that. These guys are just there to close the gap, prevent his swordsman from getting any easy charges, and just allow enough time for his archers to deal the maximum damage. Now here you can see Llewellyn do a really interesting move. He's charging straight in with his Bactrian noble horse right onto Suicidal's Parthian swords. And you might wonder, is this like the greatest tactic? And I would say, yeah, it's not. I mean, it's a very smart tactic on the part of Llewellyn because he engages these guys while they're deployed in really thin lines. And as you probably know, Parthian swordsmen aren't the strongest infantry in the game. And on top of that, he's engaging them and then pulling back with his cavalry. Meanwhile, he's also engaged the camel cataphracts and thus let his pikemen not get charged in the rear. And you can just see that he's doing some really good tactics at the start of the battle. But on this edge it's not going to go too well for him. There's a lot of cataphract support, even though Suicidal isn't really playing them well, to be honest, because he needs to get as many uninterrupted charges just like this one against as many units as possible. Bunching up his units isn't going to do him any favors. And over here, this is actually another really great, really smart tactic by Llewellyn. He charges straight through the Parthian swordsmen, and again, because they were deployed so thin, he was able to knock them over and then pass straight through them without taking any casualties. And now that he's engaged Suicidal's archers, he doesn't need to fear about his elephants being run amok. And now he's just going to charge straight through into his eastern spearmen, and Suicidal's forced to take the back seat and try and counter his war elephants with his Indian war elephants. Um, and that's obviously not the ideal strategy because, as you can see, even though it's like mayhem right now, I would say that Llewellyn has a pretty distinct edge because you can see some cataphracts are wavering and dying. These cataphracts are going to be useless as long as as long as they're kept are pinned in place by these thorax swords. And I would say Llewellyn's about halfway done building a pretty solid pike box with his levy pikes, because a lot of these guys are still at full strength or basically full strength. Now Suicidal's trying to take advantage of this small gap and try to force his cavalry through, but that's going to take a while, and he always runs the risk of some of his cav dying. Actually, he's not even trying to do that. He just charged through the thorax swords. Now these Indian war elephants are getting bogged down, but they are being helped by Bactrian noble horse, and basically Parthia's entire infantry regiment is done. Meanwhile, there's some almost full. There's a couple of full strength Bactrian noble horse. Some of them who are half strength, and at this point, it just doesn't look like it's going to go in Suicide's favor at all. Um, the archers are outside the pike box, but that doesn't matter because they just have a ton of unit support in general. They're just going to take great shots at these Indian war elephants. I would assume that's where he's going to fire them at. Yep, you can see those elephants, poor elephants, dying in the distance. Elephants are nice creatures. They're gentle creatures, except in the game, and except when they get completely berserk. I believe they're like, I mean, they can get pretty addicted to alcohol or some shit like that. I mean, it's really weird. Like they can get addicted to alcohol and then they just become like the stereotypical New Jersey douchebag and just be like the biggest assholes on the planet. Like they'd kill their mahouts, or their kind of their masters. Like the guys who would ride on top of the elephants. Usually they're like really good friends with them and all that shit. But when they get drunk, they get fucking wild, man. Anyways, enough elephant trivia. But this game is just about done. The last few cataphracts tried to go through the pike box and it didn't really work. And I mean, I guess both the players know at this point that the game's done. Just one cataphract unit left at this point, and they're being chased by Bactrian noble horse. And yeah, they're not going to do too much. The levy pikes were at the end not even needed. You can see they've just got like one. Oh, one of them has actually got 53 kills, so that's not bad. It's not bad at all. And actually, some of those 53 kills had to have been some cataphracts because they've already got like one experienced chevron. So yeah, I mean, all in all, really well done by Llewellyn. It's a close victory, but actually it was decided within like the first couple of minutes of the battle, and that's what tends to happen when when you have elephants on your side. But I would say that the Bactrian noble horse honestly won him the game, and his really good tactics by just charging into those Parthian swords and then charging straight through them and attacking his Persian light archers proved to be the deciding factor in this game. So very well done to Llewellyn. And I do have this one of the or some more of the battles fought between them. It wasn't just a best of one. Since this is the finals, it was a best of three. So I will bring the future battles very soon. So you guys stay tuned and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you later. Peace.